Tell me about the 10-10-10 project. Explain it to me like you'd explain to anyone on the street.
Okay. 10 filmmakers made 10 films, which were given to 10 choreographers who composed 10 dances. Those 10 dances were given to 10 composers who created 10 songs, and those 10 songs were given to 10 writers who made 10 pieces. They are then given to a director who has to put those all together, keeping at least 50% of all of the pieces intact. The whole objective of the piece is to unite all these young artists together without kind of having their egos butt heads in the room.
One thing that is awesome about this second workshop of it is that it's not the 10-10-10 project anymore. It is Our Idiot Friend Is Now Dead. It is its own piece. It has a narrative connected to it. So what is this piece about? What Our Idiot Friend Is Now Dead about? It's about artists grieving. It's about dealing with these extreme moments of emotion while trying to create work.
Last year's project was very much an experiment, and I think that's what makes last year's project different from this year's project, because last year's project was all about process. It was like, well, how do you make a piece? What do you do? What do you not do? Process is important for the room, but ultimately at the end of the day, we're making things for people. And I think I lost sight of that last time. So that's kind of the transition from my version of the project to Jordan's version of the project. His was very much about, let's use this process to make something. Mine was about, let's refine this process.
Because the video changes. It's a different video that was playing when Aaron walks in.
Sure, okay.
So all you have to do is get them. Aaron, as soon as you enter the space, right after he gets you, that's when everything will happen.
So is there a specific,
No matter what, you can't enter too early or too late. One of the things that has been different about this process, once we've gotten all 37 pieces versus the last one, is the actors and I collaboratively worked on finding what the story was. I came in with a vision of what I wanted, and I let them take that vision and run with it and know that they can make it better.
I've been out for 2 years now, and because Jordan's still in school, the schools actually have a different vocabulary, and so it's very interesting having Jordan try and tell me what he's trying to get through. He's like, oh, you should do this, and I'm like, yes. No, wait, can you explain that a little bit more? Because just the vocabulary is so different.
The way Jordan directs is he tries things, right? He tries everything, and nothing's really set in stone until the last minute, and I love that.
All right, Logan, the haunting long first one, can we put that on an infinite loop?
So she'll walk in with the loop.
She'll walk in with it already on. Okay. That'll fix that problem. Aaron, do you hear that?
I haven't worked with a lot of young directors. I've worked with mostly people like through school and stuff like that, but it's been pretty awesome. He does a lot of weird things. I remember even in my audition, I had to prepare this 2-minute piece, and then he was like, okay, can you do that again, but let like the architecture of the room inform your piece. And I was just like, in this audition, I was like, that is the strangest thing in the entire world. So I just ended up changing my whole piece, and it was just like very, very new to me, and I had no idea what I was doing. And I remember walking into this audition just being like, that was crazy, what did I just do? And that's how we've been warming up. We've been using that same exercise, and it's like really cool just because it like frees your mind and it warms you up, and it's interesting.
we were wondering if it's possible, if it's not too much work to like, when we break out and we talk about him, if that sound could go off. And then we will continue to make that happen, like, oh, and now we're being sucked in. It's just like, when we're talking about him, it's weird that it's still happening.
Cool. I mean, that's your call, Jordan.
All right, let's cut all
All the sound.
All
cut all sound
And all lighting in this.
Everybody comes back to CFT 142.
Okay, Almond, how do you feel about cutting the splash after the first one? And that way we don't have another thing coming, like...
Didn't we just decide that?
But even cutting the splash.
Like
the underwater sound after the first one.
Oh, No, but I think what
She's
they're
saying just
asking is that each time they
No, I get what
run,
they're asking,
you
but
just
then we're
want
gonna have
to
the
know.
same problem as we did with the one.
where it's still repetitive.
Where it's still repetitive. Yeah.
I think
So.
for this workshop, we've hit this like really cool spot. Even today when we're doing like our first and second run in the Q to Q, there were still moments where Jordan would be like, this didn't work, let's change it like this, or here's this cool thing that like I noticed you do, let's make that an actual thing instead of this one-time happenstance.
Trap them in that.
That's better. Okay. This is amazing. We should just have a group discussion. It's like a game of. This is what the project was. It's a game of broken telephone, where it's like I go to you guys and then I go back. Okay, Logan made a good point. Okay, so the reason. I think to a certain extent, I am always very fearful when I'm working on a show. I try my best not to bring that into the room, but working on such a collaborative process, it comes together in the last minute so often, I find.
How often do you guys fart?
I don't fart very much.
When was the last time you farted?
Oh, that's a good question.
And if you can't remember, that's not good.
That's
Yeah.
not bad.
Because you're full of hot air.
No, it just means that.
Okay, we can do it. We can start a run in costume.
And as I'm on my side of the pool, still only ankle deep, you will your feet to pace the perimeter over and over and over because you're scared. I knew that no one ever taught you to swim, and I knew that when you said you were going to the pool, you were really saying goodbye. I decided to forget all of that. There are thousands of tiny little starfish hands that are lifting you just above the surface before you'd rather they didn't, and then the water gets grabby and it...
Obviously, this is a workshop, and we want to get audience feedback. We want to get feedback from artistic directors. We want artistic directors to see it. We want people to see it from different streams and media.
I hope that people get it, I hope people understand it, and I hope people receive a message, whatever message that is, whatever message they get, or if they're surprised.
Three of my professors have put faith into the work that I've done thus far, and were willing to contribute to the project without questions asked. I think that's a testament to the work that we've done so far, and all we can do now is make them proud.